2, 3, 4, 5, lights. And it's lights out and away we go here at the Belgian Grand Prix. Who's sweeping into first? Covers it is a Light GT covering the McLaren. Round the outside is the McLaren. Forcing him wide a little bit is the Ferrari of a Light GT as the massive scrap at the back. But you know who's going to be scrapping at the front? It's a Light GT and Alexander. Are they going to go side by side? They are! Side by side through a Rouge. Dangerous move. Dangerous manoeuvre. Who's going to be out on top of it? It can't tell right now, as the Ferrari of Sebso is fighting and we have someone off in the distance. As Ferrari takes P1 and P2 for the Scuderia, but Alexander swaps that back in the McLaren. There's a bit of a nose bump on the gearbox of Alexander, but Lighter GT is slowly drifting away as he's going to be looking for an even better time here at the time for absolute time. So as FDF swipes that position into P3, swapping off to Tifosi of Sebsu, but you know he's going to be fighting with that. Sebsu, a quite dangerous driver, but you know who isn't going to be dangerous? It's going to be a Light GT. He's going to be trying to beat as much pattern as possible. As there's caution in sector 2, as Mel, it looks like he's round, it looks like he's spun. But who's going to burn more battery on this section of the track? It looks like it's a Lighter GT. Or never mind, it's Alexander. He's charging into that bus stop chicane. Is he going to send a move? He's not. He's going to stick behind on the gearbox. Maybe he's going to look for that overtake mode. He looked to stick a nose in there. Bit of a dangerous place to stick a nose in. But fastest lap is obviously going to a Lighter GT. He has a better start. But Alexander... Oh, Alexander's round! He's round in turn 1. It's a P5, dropping to P6 now. That splits the Ferraris again. P1 and P3 in their qualifying positions. As the Ediac is the middle liar, he's going to be looking for a move into P1, coming into sector 2. Forces him wide a little bit. Is a Lighter GT as his teammate of Sebs, who looks to pick up the slipstream. Back on the racing line now. Lighter GT still in the lead by 2/10. Who's going to be looking for a better start? It looks like it's a Lighter GT. Lap 2 right now is what's happening. Swiping the car a little bit is Eddie Epp looking for a move, giving a little bit of pressure of a Lighter GT. Who's going to be quicker though? Who's going to be getting a better exit? But he's not burning a battery. Now he is. Boost mode enabled for the Eddie Epp. Now, a Lighter GT, are you going to burn more, my friend? Or are you going to burn less? It looks like he might be burning a tiny bit less, but not that much. Now, on the gearbox, using that slipstream to gain time on the Lighter GT, he's going to send a move from what it looks like, forcing him to stick it in the middle of the track. Is Eddie Epp forcing a Lighter GT to stick it in the middle? As a little bit of a slide of the rears, loses a lot of time for Eddie Epp. He was on the look for an overtake, but Karazu overtakes Sebsu, sliding it into P3, but Eddie Epp sends a move into turn 1, putting him in the temporary lead for now. As the Lighter GT is going to be scrapping for that position back. 30% battery is only the figure though on the steering wheel. What's he going to do? 1/10 is the gap in Eau Rouge. Is he going to smack the battery down? Yes, he is. Boost mode enabled. Who's going to be burning more? Who is actually going to be burning more? They both have 0%. Sending a move could be a Lighter GT, but it's not 8. But he's already climbed back up to P6, showing that pace of his own car. But Mr. Luke West dropping a little bit further back on Sebsu as Alexander sends a move into that absolutely crazy corner. What a move! As he's also sending a move onto Sebsu, and but he didn't able to stick it. But is he going to stick it in the pit straight? Is he going to stick one in his face? But look at the fight at the front of between a Lighter GT and Eddie Epp. The Lighter GT smacks his Ferrari car in front. Goes a little bit wide in turn 1. Pit straight is where he put the overtake on as Sebsu and Alexander are fighting in the rear cameras. Who's going to be quicker heading into Eau Rouge? Is it side-by-side Eau Rouge again for our front runners? Yes, it is, but it's 2 different cars at the start. No, it is actually the same cars. Eddie Eck and Lighter GT went side-by-side at the start. Lap 4 went side-by-side. And they're side-by-side heading into Sector 2 again. Who's going to brake later? It's no one. Looking for a move is Eddie Eck. He's not going to go. But Eddie Eck is... Oh, he's going for a move here. Swings it into P1. Brilliant driving. Alexander, he's dropping positions again. He's dropped all the way to P11. It looks like he's had contact or he's spun it. I can't tell. Side by side though with your leaders of P1 and P2. But He has to absolutely not commit to that, or else that is potential front wing damage or more. As Mr. Luke West and Karasu are fighting, the Haas and Audi are having a brilliant scrap in Sector 3, but who's burning more battery? It looks like it's Karasu. He wants to keep the position. He wants to get a good fight out of this, but he is getting a fight using the track to its absolute limit, and he's gonna stick it on Luke West. But you know who is sticking it? It's Luke West into the bus stop chicane, as there's an absolute contact between Karasu and Elijah GT because of that rear smack of the front wing. But back to our front runners now. Eddie Epp sends a move. Is Elijah GT in turn 1? Who's going to get a better exit? It looks like it's Eddie Epp. Sends the car into Eau Rouge. Is he going to be better? Is he going to be worse? Is he going to be able to smack it? Not side by side through Eau Rouge this lap though. He's not going to be that dangerous. But you know he's going to be looking for a position back as Elijah GT. But don't count out Karasu. He's looking on the gearbox of both of them. He's looking for any chance. But side by side into turn 5, turn 6, and now turn 7. Not any moves made as Eddie Epp stays in P1. But if you stop talking about boxing, Karasu on the gearbox of Elijah GT side by side in Sector 3, heading into the next straight line mode, but he concedes position is Karasu. He was in P3, he's looking for a move into P2 now, but don't count out Sebsu. He's also looking for a move, but he can't get it done as Karasu sent a move on his teammate Elijah GT, who's getting the better exit now. It looks like it's Karasu, but they're still side by side because he's not actually that far back as Elijah GT gets the better line into turn 1. So a little bit of contact on the Alpine's gearbox as still side by side heading into Eau Rouge. Now are they going to keep it side by side to Eau Rouge? No, he's not. Karasu concedes the position to Elijah GT, but you know what Elijah GT is going to do? He's going to look for a move on Eddie Epp because that's what this guy does. These two are having brilliant fighting at the front, but just in general there's brilliant fighting at the front because you know who isn't stopping. It's Elijah GT. He's going to keep going. It's a little bit forced wide. Elijah G forced off the track. There could be an illegal overtake because Eddie Epp takes P1. As side by side right now is Elijah GT and Karasu sends a move on the racing line. It doesn't look like he can concede the position. Is Karasu, who is ahead just a second there. But you know who's going to look for send a move? It is Sebsu. P2 and P3 for the Ferraris. They're going to try and work together. They're going to try and climb against Eddie Epp because he has blistering pace as a current. But Mr. Luke West in P4, he's going for a brilliant lap right now. He's in front of Karasu with that 3-second time penalty as P5 and P6 are the Audis. But are the Ferraris going to fight or are they going to work together? Most likely work together. And if they don't, I'll be surprised. No, Sebsu sends a move on Elijah GT. Maybe it's quicker pace, but Mr. Luke West, the sister team of Ferrari, the team that normally moves their drivers up, it is going to be quicker. But sending a move is Elijah GT and Sebsu. They're fighting the Ferrari teammates, but Mr. Luke West is sticking his nose cone in there. He's looking for a bit of a scrap as well. As Mr. Luke West side by side with Elijah GT heading down the pit straight. Who's going to be braking later? It looks like it's Luke West having that racing line into turn 1. Who's going to get the better exit though? It looks like it is Luke West. It looks like he's going to keep it on. Never mind. Elijah GT, you might put battery down there. Heading into Eau Rouge. Your front runners, Sebsu and Eddie Epp, as it's swapped between the Ferraris. But you know, it's not going to change. It's Ferrari versus Alpine. Just a different Ferrari driver. But no battery for Sebsu because he's wanted to push against. But Mr. Luke West, he's jumped all the way down to P6. He was fighting quite far up. What has happened there? Not a clue. Maybe he lifted just a bit too much. Heading in to the bus stop chicane. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Sebsu sends a brilliant move on Eddie Epp, but he had a little chat on him. A lock of the front for Sebsu. That gains a bit of time, but Sebsu does dive straight into the pits. I feel like that's a bit early. But Danger Ninja triggers off Sebsu as well, and he's going to be also looking. As yes, it is a 5 points gap, be absolutely precise. But you know who isn't going to be precise? Who is going to actually be precise now? It's like GT and Eddie Epp. They're fighting in Sector 2. Track limits it look like for Elijah GT. If that's not track limits, then I don't know what is. Oh, Elijah GT sends another move on the inside of the corner. A brilliant wheel-to-wheel racing. As front to the rears, he looked for a move. There's no space. As Electric GT has spun his Ferrari car round. Is he into the wall? Is he out of the race? I can't tell. No, he's not. He's recovered the car back on track. That's put your Audis up into P2 and P3 with Luke West just following behind this race. And he's not been able to recover yet because of how it's worked. But side by side is Karazu. He sends a move actually into the bus stop chicane. But who's going to brake later? Who's going to go for the move? It doesn't look like Eddie Epp is going to challenge for it. It looks like he might challenge for it as that Karazu dives into the pits. But his teammate cannot, or else that would be an absolute dangerous double stack as SOS stays out. Raise amount of battery because this might be his in-lap. And I'm right, it is his in-lap. But does that mean SOS is going to react off the box of Eddie Epp? Yes, he is. Elijah GT now. He had that spin. He's also going to box. Aloy, are you going to box with all the front runners as well? Yes, you are. But you know what Sebsu did? He boxed early. He inherits that P1 position straight off Eddie Epp. As long as Eddie Epp doesn't get a good pit stop, who's going to be coming out in front? Is it Sebsu? He's actually gaining on him. He's gaining and gaining and gaining. He's looking for a better time. He's looking for a better drive. But is he going to drive the Audi into P1? He stopped gaining time at the end of the straight. So no, he's not. But you can't forget about your rear gunners as Mr. Luke West is gaining on Sir West. And he's looking for a brilliant, brilliant time. He is on the gearbox of the Audi driver. He is going to be looking for an overtake. But you know who is getting closer? It's Karazu and Sebsu. As Karazu is gaining time on Sebsu in the Tifosi Ferrari. That's the overtake mode, which means he still could try and push. He still could get in front and be in P1. But you know what is Karazu going to do? He's probably going to send a move. Yes, he is. He sends the move just before the bus stop chicane. And it's a brilliant cornering from him. The main man in the Audi. 3 point stop. As 10th gives you 1. And 4th gives you, I think, 12 if I remember. No, I think it's 10. But never mind that. So Karazu and Sebsu are fighting as Cerebri deploys the battery down and swipes back that P1 from the Audi man. As I am back here for the commentary. As Sebsu and Karazu are side by side heading into Sector 2. But Karazu is going to get a much better drive heading into Sector 2. Or is he? Gaining back time is Sebsu, but he doesn't look like he can put on the overtake. Because it is Noxo. Noxo does retire in the pit lane. He's had enough of the driving, but it looks like it's going to be a double overtake for Eddie Epp. So in P3, launches the car into P1. What an overtake from the Alpine. Brilliant driving from the man himself. Yeah, he would gain 3 positions if he does stick that win. But you know he's going to be challenging for it. It is Karazu. He's not going to settle for it. And you know he isn't. He's an absolute brilliant driver. But you know he's sticking his nose cone in. It's Sebsu. He's always in the scrap. And it's a little bit of a ride. It's a bit of a race slide for the Alpine. But he's not actually gained that much time, Eddie Epp. He's actually kept the car quite considerable. Oh, never mind. I take it back. He's absolutely swinged a move into the bus stop chicane. Who's going to get the better entry? Who's going to get the better exit? It looks like the better exit is going to be heading the Alpine's way. Oh, never mind. Battery down early for Karazu. Swings his car into P1 as Sebsu does the overtake on the Alpine of Eddie Epp. And there's contact. They're both off into the gravel. And that is both your drivers. Eddie Epp retires from the session on track, which you're not supposed to do. Side by side into Eau Rouge. Sebsu sticks the position though. It's Elijah GT. He came from P6. He smacks his car into P3, looking for an overtake on P2. But where has Luke West come from? He's come up from all the way down in the pack, and he's in P2 as of current. GT though made an overtake on Mr. Luke West, and there's an own scrap of its own here at the backfield. So West into P3, Mr. Luke West slots into P4, but Sebsu, he's going to be wanting to bite that positions back, and he swings it side by side into Eau Rouge, sticking the car on track. Is both of them, but you know who's coming out on top? It's Sebsu. But Elijah GT, are they all going to want to fight? Because they know if they let Karasu drive away too much and he keeps a 3-second gap, he won't drop positions with his penalty. So fighting a lot of side by side, but is Elijah GT going to have the pace to catch up to Karasu within 5 or maybe even 6 laps? But Sebsu, it looks like he's going to drive past his teammate. Never mind, he's not. He's going to keep the car on track. If I was the Ferraris, I wouldn't be fighting at all. I'd keep it clean because they want to catch Karasu. But remember, you are allowed on a call with your teammate, if I remember, just not anybody else. Because he knows he needs it for the championship, and if he doesn't keep it in P2, then he will lose the position to Karasu if it stays like this. So he's going to be scrapping for the position with his Ferrari teammate, or are they just swapping? Who knows? Are they going to figure out who has the quicker pace? Is it Sebsu or is it Elijah GT? If Elijah GT does have quicker pace, then that could have been the option the entire time. That could have been the chance to catch up. That could have been the opportunity. He needs that position, and he knows he needs to be within 3 seconds, as he currently is. Only 4/10 is the gap. But obviously, we know Elijah GT loses time around here because it looks like he lifts a lot during Eau Rouge. But you know what he's going to do? He's going to put the power down. He's going to smack it down, as Sebsu also smacks the power down onto West, currently putting up a P2 and P3 Ferrari. But it could absolutely change if Elijah GT does keep the Ferrari car in a 3-second gap of Karasu. But is he going to have the battery for that? We'll have a look on our telemetry channel. 20% is only right now, as Karasu does have about 20% more, but never mind. He's gained a lot of battery. Is Elijah GT. He's going to be using that boost mode as much as possible, as look, he's burned a bit of boost during a place that you wouldn't expect it. In that Sector 2, in the beginning of Sector 2 to be in fact. But 2/10 is the absolute margin between a P1 finish for Elijah GT for a brilliant start. A brilliant first point to his Ferrari campaign, and a good point for Ferrari overall in their Constructors campaign. But you know what he's going to do? He is going to smack the battery down. 1/10 a gap. 1/10 a gap still. 1/10. 1/10. 1/10 is all that's in it. He's in the second time. Battery depleted for both drivers. It's all about raw pace. First to break is obviously going to be Karasu, but is he going to be able to match him? Is Elijah GT going to be able to match? Is he going to get within 3 seconds? We'll see at the race end. That start of the race could have something to say about it. Is he going to be in? Elijah GT takes the win in the Spa Grand Prix. In the Spa-Francorchamps Grand Prix with the dramatic end because of time penalties. Because of the track limits that Karasu did pick up, Elijah GT smacks the Scuderia Ferrari into P1, as it's a good day out for the Ferraris and the Audis.